A woman wearing a face mask asks a passing child, "Am I pretty?" And if the frightened youngster says she is, she asks, "Even like this?" and removes her face mask to reveal a face slit through her mouth from ear to ear. No matter their age, almost everyone in Japan has heard the story of Kuchisake Onna, or slit-mouthed woman, and it has become increasingly known around the world as well. You know, I've actually heard variations of this story too, where if you say no to begin with to her question of "Am I pretty?", she will cut your head off with a giant pair of scissors. And I've also heard versions where if she takes her mask off and asks, even now, even like this, and you change your initial answer of yes to no, that she will give you a horrific and painful death. And if you stick with your answer of yes, then she will give you a slit mouth just like hers. So, you know, it's a win-win situation. Hello guys, and welcome back to my Curious About Japan series, in which I'm Googling all the stuff about Japan I've been curious about for a long time, but just like too lazy to actually go and research. If there's anything that you want me to research in my next batch of videos for this series, be sure to comment below. So, Halloween. Best day of the year. Let's get spooky. Today I'm going to be talking about an urban legend in Japan which started in the 70s, I believe. And I mean, when I think about it, I feel like all urban legends must have started at least a few decades ago, because I feel like in 2020, anything that had the potential to become an urban legend will just be a meme in 2020. But anyway, let's get into this one. The article I read was interviewing some professor, and according to him, this one really kick-started modern urban legends in Japan. This was one of the first proper ones. And this is the urban legend of the woman with the slit mouth. I mean, whatever background I put, I'm sure it's going to be creepy, so you can get the gist. Well, supposedly, this started from a woman in a farming village in Gifu Prefecture, the town of Yatsu. So yeah, it started when this farmer noticed a woman standing in the corner of her garden with a now notoriously slit mouth. So in 1978, the local newspaper printed this story, and variations of the story spread through Japan like wildfire around that time, through word of mouth mostly. And some of the variations included that the woman would wear a red coat or a mask, like one of the surgical face masks, I guess. Some versions say she carries a sickle. Some say that she can run 100 meters in 6 seconds. Very specific, but there we go, that's what I read. And one version said that if you gave the slit-mouthed woman this specific type of hard candy, that she would leave you alone and go away. So during this period of time in 78, within about 6 months, this became a nationwide rumour in Japan. Before this time, it would have been unlikely to spread that far, at least that quickly, but also during this period of time in Japan, more and more students were going to cram schools, so where a rumour usually wouldn't leave a school district, now you have students from different school districts often crossing paths, going to the same cram schools and stuff, and it really spread fast through young people in that way. And then from those students to relatives, phone contacts, and so on. I think part of the reason this story spread so much was because it really played into anxiety that students at cram school had, because they're really young and, you know, they're going home alone late at night and they're already coming across, probably, at least in bigger cities, some unusual characters at that time, you know, drunks or women heading off to work who work in the nightlife entertainment industry, and so on. So yeah, like, it was legit a scary rumour at the time, and people would maybe be nervous going home from cram school. And at first, teachers and parents were legitimately worried about it, like people would always go home in groups and stuff. And I mean, you have to remember, this is pre-internet, so people don't assume everything is a hoax or a joke, you know? But the rumour did eventually die down within a year. But the image of the slit-mouthed woman remains. Ooh. Also around that time, the economy in Japan was changing and younger people had more money. Like, they weren't rich, but they were able to go out and spend their money. And as a result, people cared about what young people thought and said and wanted. But the point is, they were talking about the slit-mouthed women at the time, and people were paying more attention to people in that age group at the time, so it was printed more in newspapers and just kind of spread more easily that way as well. Happy Halloween, you guys! Yes! This is the last video I filmed in this batch for this series, so I don't know what's coming next week. But as always, do comment anything that you want me to research for this series that you're curious about in regards to Japan, and have a spooky one, guys. I will see you next time.